Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Skyhawk, Rolling Thunder 1966. This is a solitaire game designed by Steve Dixon and Bob Best and is published by Legion Wargames. Well, Legion just sent out the CPO notice on Monday that the game was ready to be paid. Put my order in and I got it in a couple days, so I'm going to take a look inside here and share it with you. This is one of those solo games that creates its own narrative as you play, and set in Vietnam, it's modern era, you know I'm definitely going to check it out. So let's take a look at the back of the box and see what this game's all about. Skyhawk is a game which puts the player in the cockpit of an A4E Skyhawk of VA-72, flying missions during the last 5 months of 1966 when the Rolling Thunder air operations became very intense. Your base of operations is the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt on duty at Yankee Station. The A4E Skyhawk was a nimble aircraft capable of carrying slightly over 4 tons of ordnance. Depending on your target, the player has the opportunity to load out the aircraft to meet the mission requirements. The missions will not be easy. President Johnson and his civilian advisors may even change your target or ordnance loading depending upon the political situation in the USA. You play as a Navy pilot flying strike missions against targets in North Vietnam. Your goal will be to survive a mission or campaign. Players may fly a single mission or play one of the 3 campaigns included in the game. Facing you will be determined North Vietnamese force. It is possible you will face small arms fire, AAA, SAM launches, and encounters with MiGs. However, you will have help in the form of U.S. support forces which can attack North Vietnamese defense forces before you attack your target. Their success could make your job easier. The game is not meant to be a detailed simulation of the Rolling Thunder campaign. It is a simple yet engaging quick game for the player, which is true. These are narration generation games, and this is what's so fun about them. And we see an example of the mounted battle board, the game counters, and then we have the game components listed out here at the bottom. We get an 11 by 17 inch mounted battle board, 40-page rulebook, 16 1.2 inch counters, 92 3/4 inch counters, and 176 half-inch counters. 8-page gazetteer, 6 chart table cards, 1 ordnance card, 1 mission record card, and multiple player aid cards. It is for 1 player, obviously. It's a solitaire game. Game complexity is medium-high, and the solitaire suitability is high. So let's take a look inside and see what we get. All right, we get a couple of inserts here from Legion. Jody and Randy saying thank you, as they always do. A couple more games that are on their way from Legion or are already available. We get some, looks like some stickers and errata here that says counter sheet 1 for 500-pound snake eye bomb counters should be labeled Mark 82 rather than printed Mark 81. And then counter sheet 2, the 5 knocked out markers should be included in game were inadvertently omitted. Please place the knocked out stickers included in the dice bag on the 5 blank 3/4 inch counter. So that's what that is for there. Get our rule book, charts and table book, the target listing gazetteer, a whole bunch of player aids, 2 counter sheets, and our mounted battle board. So let's set up the battle board and take a closer look at the game. And we'll take a look at the mounted battle board that comes with the game. It's a beautifully done board, has all of the tracks that you'll need for every aspect of your game. On the right hand side we have repair tracks for available now, available in 1 day, available in 2 days, also a spot for maintenance skill level. Then on the Roosevelt you have the trap, recovery, and launch, inbound random event, aerial refuel, US support units, RESCAP units here. Then you have support attacks, ECM, and then you also have spots for small arms, AAA, SAMs, and MiGs for the NVA. Your target approach, target attack, and then your target exit, where you have the option of either looping back for another run at your target, or you can go outbound to the carrier, transit to the carrier, and then your carrier approach, where you'll end up in the trap. On the interior here, we have search and rescue, bailout over land, bailout over water, and search and rescue for ditch, along with a couple of spots for NVA patrol. Really love the look of it and like the way it's laid out. It's very easy to follow, and you can really see the flow of the mission from start to finish. Next, we'll take a look at the player aids that come with the game. This one is the turn sequence guide, giving us a listing of the basic rules as well as the optional rules at the bottom right. Next, we have the pilot character sheet. This is where you'll keep track of all your medals as you progress throughout your career. Then we have the Skyhawk ordnance card, which is going to break down all of the locations of your plane and what ordnance you can have on each side. You have your left outboard and inboard, the right inboard and outboard, as well as the centerline stations and what can be fitted on each of those locations. Then we have the pilot roster sheet, the division record sheet, the division squadron assignment card, which are used in optional rules 15.1 and 15.2, the campaign record sheet, and then the campaign calendar for August through December of 1966. Next, we'll take a look at the counters that come with the game. On the first sheet, we have our aircraft as well as the ordnance, and then the medals that you'll be awarded along the bottom. On the next sheet, we have more aircraft, some administrative counters, the NVA forces, as well as your pilot counters. Next, we'll take a look at the rules. This is a 39-page black and white rule book. Inside of the front cover, we have the table of contents listing out all the different rule sections and their associated page numbers. Then we get to the introduction, explaining to you a little bit about the Rolling Thunder operation and what this game is all about. Then we get into game components, listing out all the counters, the maps, everything that you have in the game, and explaining all of the pieces to you. Then we get to phases, the setup phase, the Skyhawk mission record card, then the Skyhawk ordnance card, which we've looked at both of those, then the map itself, JCS 94 target listing gazetteer, which we're going to take a look at next, Skyhawk fuel management, and then we get to the planning phase. Planning events, determining ordnance load, support units, movement and attacks, inbound random event box, aerial refuel box, boxes calling for a fuel check. Remember, when we looked at the map board, we saw the inbound and then the aerial refuel box, all that. It's going to explain to you here all steps for that. Then we get to the damage to the Skyhawk that precludes aerial refueling, a support attack box, performing support attack cycle. That continues on for a couple pages. To suppress results in U.S. attack. Then we get to MiGs if you get some aerial combat. ECM box, damage to the Skyhawk. Major section damage boxes, subsystem damage boxes, and then the cannon damage. Pilot wound status, pilot hit damage. Attacking the target. Your target approach, target attack. Dropping ordnance on your target. Scoring target damage results, getting your BDA. And then we have special mission type, SAM suppression. Mine laying, target exit box, target re-attack box. Remember, we saw that where you can exit and head to the carrier, or you can loop back and you can do another attack run, outbound to the carrier box, transit the carrier, and then landing. Then you determine a single mission winner, Tonkin Gulf Yacht Club, individual medal awards, single mission game, and then you have the medal awards for the campaign game. Bailing out, ditching, and then campaigns starts on page 26. So you can see not a tremendous amount of rules for the solo game, and it all is really explained out to you in pretty good detail. And then we get into the campaign itself and how those rules are different from the solitaire campaign. You also have a bunch of optional rules here listed throughout. Optional rules, some more optional rules actually start here on page 31, where you use your divisions. Then your target selection using multiple flights of 4 aircraft, rescuing down pilots. Damage rule, engine hits and fire, altitude and bombing. And then we have our sources and game credits on page 37. And then the designer's notes on page 38, an area for notes. And then we are at the back of the rulebook. And we'll take a look at the charts and tables book. This is a 20-page black and white book. Starts out with the first 3 tables on the front cover, your pilot's experience level, campaign pilot experience level, and then the maintenance personnel experience level. That continues on to the inside, campaign game maintenance experience level changes, your weather, launch table, launch incident, single mission planning events, support units, and then munitions guides. And I'm not going to go through each of these individually, but you'll see all the different tables that you have. Inbound random events, and it has notes underneath it. Great pictures along with the tables. And everything is going to be laid out in sequential order as they normally are for these types of games. So that way it's easier to follow along. And you just flip the page, get to the next one as you need it. Really nicely laid out, very clean, easy to read. And then it finishes out on the back with the campaign game government intrusion events table and the associated notes for that as well. And lastly, we'll take a look at the target listing gazetteer. This is an 8-page black and white book. Start off with the U.S. Navy target list. Then we have the U.S. Air Force target list. Then we have the MACV target list. And then on the back, we have the area of operations for Rolling Thunder in 1966. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Skyhawk, Rolling Thunder, 1966. This is a solitaire game designed by Steve Dixon and Bob Best and published by Legion Wargames. Well, Legion has a great turnaround. They put out the CPO notice on Monday, paid for it. It was here a couple days later. Fantastic work as always by Randy and Jody. Never hesitate to get a game from Legion. If it's something I'm interested in, I'll definitely pick it up. They make fantastic games. If you've not already checked out Legion Wargames, you really need to get over their website and check them out. Like I said, they make fantastic quality games, and they're a lot of fun. But this one definitely has been on my radar for a while, no pun intended, because it's modern era. It's set in Vietnam, so I had to check it out. I don't have Target for today, which is the one that a lot of people have talked about. It's nothing against the game. It's just, well, it's a World War II game. Not that I don't have an interest in those, I do, but it wasn't as high on my interest list as a modern era one. So really looking forward to checking this one out. Maybe I'll pick up Target for today afterwards, but this one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Really easy to understand map board. You can follow the flow of the battle very cleanly, and everything here just looks to be fantastic. Rulebook's laid out nicely. The player aid cards are outstanding. Charts and tables, you just follow them along from beginning to end. It's going to get you through the entire game, and you're going to be able to create your own individual story, which is what I love about these games. You have decisions to make along the way. You have some action. You roll on tables, and this really, really cool narrative will unfold in front of you. So looking forward to getting this one on the table. Glad this is done and in my possession here before the holidays. So get some extra time there and can throw this one on the table and have some fun. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.